patterns and geographic locations of violent and property offences. However, it's proven controversial as the model does not account for systemic bias in police enforcement and complex relationship with crime and society. Similar systems have been shown to perpetuate racist bias in policing in the past, which could potentially be replicated with this model. So is this Minority Report where the word minority means a different thing?
Well, funnily enough, I used to be a criminal intelligence analyst. And I know a bit about this, and it's not really anything new.
That's quite disturbing, by the way, that you had that such a serious, important role. Is anyone else a bit worried about that?
How do you think systemic bias started? that was me. No, but there can be systemic bias. So, I mean, just from an operational point of view, so if you see a certain demographic are committing more crimes, you go and arrest more people from that demographic, then you catch more people from that demographic, so then they appear higher in this, so it becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. So, you know, if you're not getting people from different demographics, you could do stop and searches on other demographics, perhaps find that they're carrying, you know, just as many knives or drugs or whatever, but if you don't search them because you don't think that they're going to have it, then you won't catch them. And if you don't catch them, you don't see it. So, yeah, it's a self-perpetuating cycle. But this particular thing is AI. Well, they call it AI. It's really the split cities into blocks 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet, which is a big area of a city. And then they say, oh, we can predict, you know, to plus or minus 1 day in this 1,000-foot block if crime's going to happen. And I'm sorry, but that's not really, you know, that's not a cruise missile level laser-guided accuracy that you need. You can't just, you know, swarm 1,000 feet square in a city with police. So it's not, as far as I can see, it's not bringing any sort of usable tactical intelligence. And, you know, I don't understand how it's going to perpetuate any systemic biases either. And also, in policing, there's a danger in trying to avoid bias completely, because if there is a demographic that's overrepresented in a particular crime, it's quite often an indication of some other systemic or societal failing for that demographic. So by ignoring it, you're allowing that failing to continue.
So do you think this shouldn't be an issue of deploying more police in an area which might then have a racist connotation? Should it simply be, if the computer says there's crime there on Tuesday, you just avoid that block for a while?
Computer says crime. Yeah. It's complicated, isn't it? Because this thing about biases, it's like, is it actually biases, as Leo says, or does it come from certain people actually committing crime? Larry Elder has this phrase, the American, he has this phrase, reality is racist, or facts are racist. Sometimes facts are just racist. Sometimes it goes against white people as well, like when Asian people were just smarter, so they had to ban them from Harvard, if you remember that, because they were doing too well and they were outperforming white people. So sometimes facts are just uncomfortable. But so that's the thing. Is it really biased, or is it just that fact? And then can we leave it up to computers is another question. Like you say, it gets very Minority Report, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if the computer itself maybe can't be racist, but all it's doing is receiving data that might have been collected in a biased way, the poor little computer can't manage to work it out.
Yeah, I've noticed you're very in favour of computers and puppets. You're you're anti-human.
At some point, AI is going to take over and they'll watch this back and all of a sudden they'll spare me, but you're done for, mate.
It is tough.